Tim, thank you for reminding me. Okay. All right. So going ahead and taking a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you this morning. And oops, bump. I'm going to just mute everybody at the moment so that if there's any background sound, maybe we'll kind of quiet that a little. I'm seeing all of you, so I got to get my, okay. All right, so resting your hands in your lap, closing your eyes. Notice how you meet the ground and how the ground meets you. And lengthen your spine up towards the sky. You might notice how your clothing meets your skin. What's the right side of your body feel like? What's happening at the top of the right shoulder, all the way to the neck and the base of your skull? What's the left side of the body? The back of your body? What are your hands like? What are they touching? And how does that feel? Again, the front body. And with your next deeper inhale, the inside of your body. You can begin right now with a balanced inhale and exhale. Ujjayi breathing, or simply that Samavriti breathing. Balancing the inhale and the exhale. At the bottom of the next exhale, release any holding on your breath. Bring your hands into Anjali Mudra. How do the hands touch each other? You're welcome to join me as I chant the sound of Om, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. We're moving the breath, the exhale, all the way from the base of the pelvis, all the way from the root chakra. It's clearing the central channel all the way up to the throat, the roof of the mouth. Taking a deep inhale. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. With your next exhale, you can rest your hands in your lap. You're welcome to keep your eyes closed. Just resting for a moment, just noticing how your body is being breathed. And then we'll begin Sitali. With this breath, we're going to do 6 rounds of the breath. So 1 round is the inhale, and then there's the pause, and then the exhale. You're going to balance the inhale and the exhale. You can begin whenever you're ready. At the bottom of the next exhale, if you're still practicing, just release any control on the breath. Just noticing the quality of your mind. And then go ahead and open your eyes. All right, so before we move on to our asana practice, I'll just open it up to a question because we're going to do that practice again at the end of class. We'll do it a little differently. We'll suspend between the inhale and the exhale. But just let me see if you have a question about Sitali. And if you do, great. Everybody's okay? All right. Okay. So I want to start with some abdominal work. So I'm going to have you lie on your back with your knees bent and your feet on the floor. So once you lay back and you've got the knees bent, feet on the floor, just drop back into the presence of the breath again. So you can notice the breath while you're lying back. And you can notice the temperature and how your body again connects to the ground. Where your body touches the earth. And let's first start. Let's have arms along your side, palms down towards the ground. And with the beginning, let the inhale begin just a moment before you lift your arms overhead. So when you're ready, you'll begin your inhale and the movement of the arms. There's a pause wherever the arms are, and then the exhale begins and the arms start moving back alongside your body. All right, so please do 2 more. The breath is coming in through the nose. You might be doing ujjayi breathing. But whichever breath you're doing, you're balancing again the inhale and the exhale. And the breath is leading the movement. And the next time the arms come down alongside your body, release any control on the breath, but notice where is your breath. So you might notice the breath is the breath, do you feel the belly expanding a little on the breath? Because you're at ease, there's no tone in the belly, everything's soft right now. When we add tone to the belly, then the breath, we want to find it just in the back ribs, in the back of the lungs, because the belly is going to be toned to support the front of your spine. So you might take the arms now just a little wider. Palms can still be down towards the floor. Let's inhale again, and then with the exhale, pick up the heels. When you pick up your heels, you might still have the toes on the ground. I like to have my toes and the ball of the foot still on the floor. And I want to notice, we've worked with this a lot, how it changes, how much of my back body is connected to the floor again. And when you inhale through the nose right now, where is the breath going in your body? And the exhale. And then your next exhale, let's go ahead and release the heels, release any holding, and notice where the breath goes. Do you feel the breath come into the abdomen again? So you feel you know, the abdominal organs press down. I mean, the diaphragm presses on the abdominal organs, and you feel the belly, you know, expand. But when we're going to tone again, the breath, where is it? Can you feel it? Maybe you don't feel it at the back towards the ground. Maybe you feel it more in the sides. Maybe you feel it a little in the front. Notice where the breath is. So taking another deep inhale. Let's exhale. You're going to pick up the heels and the toes. So what's happening between you and the ground? How much of your body is connected to the floor? Do you feel the effort required in the abdominal region right now? Are you holding your breath or are you still breathing? It doesn't mean it's the longest inhale and exhale, but is the breath still moving? Now, take the shins, make them parallel with the floor. So now there's more effort required because you just lifted your lower legs up. Your next exhale, toe tap, right foot down. The inhale it back up. Exhale left. Inhale, it comes back to center. Exhale right. So taking your time. Left. Right, left, there you are back at center, and then exhale, lower both feet, the ball, the toes, the heels, relax, and notice what it's like to relax, to let go. Where's the breath? All right, and then again, inhaling deeply through the nose, exhale. We're gonna lift the right knee to the chest. Inhale, the right leg straight up to the sky. You might take the arms a little wider. And with your next exhale, lower the right leg so that the right thigh and the left thigh are at the same, they're parallel. So again, where is your breath? And keeping this connection, this tone in the belly. Exhale, lower the right leg another 6 inches. Tone the right inner thigh. Press into your left heel. Press into the left heel. That might help support you. You might stay right here, or you might lower the right leg a little more. It's going to require more effort. And then we're going to inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, right foot back to the ground and let go. What does it feel like to just let go of holding that, the effort? What does having little effort feel like? And then pressing into the right foot, take the left leg straight up. Deep inhale, exhale, you lower the left thigh to be even with the right. You're still pressing into the right heel because it's helping you stay connected through the abdominals. Your next exhale, you're gonna lower the left leg another 6 inches. Only if that's not straining your low back, that you feel you have the abdominal tone now to do it. If you don't, you're better off just keeping the thighs parallel. You'll work up to it. Pressing into the right. Toning through the left inner thigh. It might be a little shaky. And then we're going to inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, let's release the left foot down and let go. I mean, one of the joys to me of abdominal work sometimes is the letting go part. I love the letting go part. All right, now let's take, you're gonna press into both feet, shift the hips slightly to the, well, no, let's do one other thing first. Let's be neutral. So we got pelvis, navel, heart, throat, you know, all those are lined up. Let's take the arms back down along your side body, palms toward the ground. So you're gonna, again, let the breath lead you. And with the next inhale, begin to lift the arms, lift the back of the head, and lift the hips. Then you put the back of the head down, the arms go overhead. And the exhale, everything comes back. The inhale, I lift the hips, the arms. I pick up the back of the head slightly, just to make room for the neck as I'm lifting. And you come back. And can you do 3 more at your own pace? So then when you get to the bottom of the next exhale, let's take the arms now and take them a little wide out to the sides. Step into both feet, shift the hips toward your right, just a couple inches, straighten your left leg, and we're taking a twist to the left. Now the head, you might be looking straight up towards the ceiling, or you might be turning the head away from the direction the lower body's going. Then we'll come back to center. Bring everything back to the midline. Press into both feet, shift the hips a little to the left, straighten the bottom leg, twisting the lower body. So I have my left foot against my right, like either inner thigh or inner knee. I'm also gonna tone the inner thigh of the straight leg. What happens when you tone the inner thigh of the straight leg? And you might, you know, take the neck in a comfortable position. All right, great. And then come back to center. Come back into midline again. Yes. Let's take one more time. We're going to take the arms and the hips. We're going to lift them all up like we did. Exhale, back to center. Great. Bring the knees to the chest. Hands behind the knees. Make yourself into a little ball. And then as you open the body up, roll over to one side. And you're going to come up to standing. All right, so you're coming all the way up to standing. And then let's grab your blocks. Okay. All right, so you got your blocks. You're going to step the feet wide apart. Let's turn right foot out, left foot in. Let's take a block to the outer shin. If you need both the blocks on one side, please do it. Clean your glasses if you need to. Alrighty, we're going to warrior 2. Inhale, arms out. Exhale, warrior 2. So connect to the breath. Relax the back arm, front palm up to the sky. Inhale, rising warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, just take a little weight out of that front hip and exhale, side angle. Is the breath still moving? Are you still paying attention to the inhale, your exhale, when you inhale, can you help expand that space at the skyward side above the crest of the pelvis? Open that space. Your next inhale, come back to warrior two. And then we'll turn both palms skyward. Inhale, straighten the arms, swing the feet. Exhale, release both arms and turn them to the second side. When you're ready, once again, inhale, take the arms out. You're going to the left. Exhale, warrior two. So as you come down into warrior two, the left inner thigh lengthening towards the left inner knee. Let's see what happens. Linda Valentine, go a little longer with your stance. Take your feet wider apart. Yeah, and even a little more, Linda. And when you do, back the left knee up just a smidgen. Just a smidge, and see about that, the length. Warrior two is a pretty long stance. Yeah. What's the quality of your breathing? And Tina, I know I haven't seen your knees in person lately, but I'm going to just encourage you to tone at the back inner knee, the adductor. So you're going to straighten the right leg, your back leg. Yeah. And just make sure your stance is long enough. I can't see how wide your feet are. Yeah, Michael, go a little longer. Just an inch or two. Yeah, cool. Okay, rising warrior. Great. Opening through the side body. Exhale, you come back. Just take a little weight out of the front hip to transition yourself to side angle. When you take a little weight out of that hip, it's just easier to bring yourself up and over. So your left hand can be on the block, at the left outer shin. Beautiful, that's it. Jackie, I love the long side body. I love seeing that. So from the crest of the pelvis on the right to the right heel, the crest of the pelvis, all the way through those right ribs. What about the right back ribs? What about there? How do you expand it? How can you open it? And what's the quality of your breathing? Yeah. And then I'm going to say, let's see, Michael, what about the right rib cage? Yeah. Yeah. Now, when you there, like that, and then when you wrap your right arm a little more around your right rib cage, you bring it a little towards the front body. How does that help expand the right bottom ribs? Can you? Yeah. Cool. Anne, wow, that is beautiful, Anne. I love seeing that opening. And then let's inhale, come back up. Great. Exhale, release both arms. Turn both feet forward. Take a wide-legged forward fold and downward dog arms. Wide-legged forward fold, downward dog arms. Balance the weight between the ball of the foot and the heel. That's just one of the things you ask yourself. Is it balanced? So let's see, Elizabeth, you can shift your hips a tiny bit forward. Yeah, yeah. And you're welcome to be either on the finger pads or the palm, whatever works for you. The hands can be on blocks or they might be on the ground. It's so dependent on the length of the hamstrings, all these things. Great. Good. And again, where is your breath? When you're in this position with the arms overhead, where do you feel your body expanding with your inhale? And where do you connect to the ground? What part of the heel finds the floor? And then walk the hands back, shift them up to your hips, and inhale, come up. And we'll step the feet together. Relax both arms. So standing in mountain pose, shine the palms forward. Balanced breath again. How does your body connect to the ground here? What part of your feet are touching your yoga mat? Is it different on the right heel foot compared to the left? Like I really can notice on my own body, for some reason, this is one of my areas to really work. My right inner heel doesn't find the ground as well as my left. This also reflects in that there's a weakness at my right, and in some of the intrinsic muscles in the right foot. So if I can really connect into my right inner heel, I feel some muscles turning on that actually help lift my right arch. This is just my experience. All right, and then we're gonna let that go. So now we're gonna do some step backs to a lunge, a high lunge, and we're gonna take that into a twist. So I'm gonna take my blocks and I'm gonna bring them to the top of my mat. And now I know that I'll show you what I'm gonna do, because what I wanna do is I'm gonna take this into a high lunge and then a revolved twist. So when I do, slight bend to the knees. I'm going to shift the weight into my left foot. I'm just demonstrating. And I'm going to step the right one back. So now, and then I'm going to lift my torso back. So there, I can stay here. Inhale the arms out. Exhale, I'm going to go airplane. I'm going to take my left hand on my hip and bring my block to the inner left big toe. Then there'll be a twist. And I am paying attention to that space between my pubic bone and my inner left hip joint. So this is where we're going to be going in a moment. Then we go back to an airplane, move my block. Step forward, straighten both legs. Okie doke. Okay. When you're ready, inhale, lift both arms. Exhale, take the arms wide and then slight bend to both knees. Let's shift the weight to your right and step your left foot back, way back. Lift the torso and maybe inhale, lift the arms. Lift your gaze to be either straight ahead or a little up. You're breathing. Then we're going to inhale, take the arms wide. Exhale, airplane. Where's the tone in the belly? Right hand on your hip. Block to the inside of the right foot. And a twist towards the bent knee. What happens when you draw the lower right abdominal organs to meet the front of the sacrum? Does that give you more space at the hip joint? You might add the right arm alongside your right ear. Exhale, turn back towards the floor. Move your block, arms wide. And exhale, step forward. Straighten both legs, lift your arms. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Second side. Inhale, lift both arms. Exhale, arms wide, a small bend of both knees. Stand on the left foot and reach the right foot back. Lift the torso. Inhale, you're welcome to lift both arms. Good, yeah. Good, the back heel is lifted. The right inner thigh of the back leg. Can you feel the right inner thigh drawing into midline of that right inseam? Okay, good. And then we're going to take the arms out wide. And you bow into that airplane. Yeah. When you come into the airplane and you can lower that, move your block. You can lower the hands. So you've got left hand on the hip, right block at the left big toe. So begin to lift on the left. Draw those abdominal organs back in your body to meet the front of the sacrum on the left. So you're twisting to the left and making room for that inner left hip area. You can add the arm if you like. Going alongside the ear. Yeah. Good. Good. Is the back heel, do you know if your back heel is still vertical? You might see it just through your mind's eye, or did it tilt to the right? One more deep inhale. Exhale, turn towards the floor. Move your block to the right. Take the arms wide. There's your airplane. You're going to need the abdominals. You step forward. Then straighten the legs. Inhale, lift both arms. Exhale, lower the hands to the heart. Inhale, lift both arms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, downward facing dog or puppy. Where does your body touch the ground? What is it? What is that quality of touch? Do you feel the right and left index finger knuckle? Can you feel how when you strongly reach to the hands, but take the rib cage the other way? And let's inhale, plank pose. There's so much trusting, like right now, you know, that the inner thighs are toned. You feel the belly toned, lifting up towards the spine, the rib cage. But you're not suspending the breath, you're breathing. We'll exhale, come forward a little on the toes, lightly touch the knees down, bring the chest. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, lower all the way down. One more time, and inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. Let's release the hands and take them forward where we make a little pillow. Rest the forehead and drop back into your breathing. 6 full breaths. Where do you feel the inhale in your body? Where does your body expand upon that inhale? And then at the bottom of your next exhale, go ahead and come up onto your forearms. You're gonna have your elbows under the shoulders. The gaze just a little down, and without some effort right now. Without doing the full Sphinx, let's rest here a little bit. So you're kind of like relaxed, like you were with a group of friends. There's no effort right now. I'm actually letting the heart soften, the belly soften, and the back of the neck be long. My gaze might still be just toward my thumbs. And again, can you take 6 more deep breaths? Where is the breath? When I feel overwhelmed or I get a sense of, anxiety, these 2 breathing practices, the one you just did and this one, can help support the nervous system. Great. Now we're going to turn this into Sphinx pose with a little more effort. So you're going to press down into that widest part of your forearm. And lift the belly right above the pubic bone, a little bit away from the ground. You'll feel the rib cage lift, and then lift at the top of the breastbone. There's tone in the belly. And then we're going to exhale, release, come all the way down to the floor, slide the hands back to be along the side ribs. Inhale, back up to all fours. And exhale back, puppy or downward facing dog. That balanced breath, the inhale, the exhale. All right, and then with the next exhale, if you're in downward dog, lower the knees. If you're in puppy, walk the hands back. We'll all walk our hands back. And let's get a blanket to support the knees. I'm going to crawl up on my blanket. And I've got my blocks. All right, right foot forward. Right foot forward with the back knee supported. And so you're going to allow that right knee to come forward. So we're beginning to open now the front of the hip joint, your left hip joint. When I open the front of the left hip joint, it doesn't mean I'm just going to let everything fall forward. I want a little tone right between at the upper inner left hip joint. I want a little tone right there to support, so I'm not going to be hanging on the ligaments there. Then I'm going to take the blocks, make them taller. So you can tell, so there's your right knee in front of your right ankle. Lift at the top of your breastbone, please. And then you're opening. Can you feel that opening at the front body? From the front of the left thigh, all the way up, lifting up through the heart. And maybe you might add the left arm. The pinky side of the left arm. Exhale, let's release, push back, and switch sides. So now left foot forward. I like to take my blocks forward, so I'm putting a little more slack in the system. Your left knee is forward of your left ankle. Weight is balanced. Taking the blocks then, backing them up, maybe making them taller. All right, so between the right pubic bone and the right inner hip, can you add just a little bit of a lift right there? Can you lift the top of the breastbone? Where's the throat? And maybe adding the right arm. You don't have to add the right arm. Do what feels like you're able to stay in integrity when you're doing this. Yeah. Your breathing, the quality of your breath. Good. Yeah. Great. Yeah. The throat base of the skull. And then go ahead, exhale, come back. Take downward dog or puppy. Can you drop back to Ujjayi breathing? All right, beautiful. And then bring the knees down and walk your hands back. All right. So we were just opening the front of the hip. So let's take that into a supported bridge to shoulder stand. And maybe with the front of the hip more open, we'll be able to find that lift without any compression in the lumbar spine. So when you come into this supported bridge, please, you might want to use a blanket to go underneath the shoulders. I like having a strap. And so I'll have a loop in my strap again. All right. Usually the size of my loop. Let me see what I did here. What did I do? Good question. Here we go. The size of the loop is usually a little narrower than the upper arm bones. Feels most, yeah, just a little narrower. Okay, you got your blocks. So when you lie back, take the shoulders on the blanket. No weight on the cervical. And then you know where your strap is, you got your blocks. Up goes the pelvis for one of your blocks. Situate yourself. Where are the shoulders? Are they still on the blanket? They're not hanging in midair. And then your second block. Is that the right height? You can situate it. This is under the bony pelvis. And again, you go, how is that height? And I notice I could have, for myself, I'm like, I'm gonna go a half a higher. That feels right. And then my strap, my hands go to find the loop. Palms are gonna face each other. Pressing out on the strap. Does pressing out on the strap help in the lifting of the heart center? Lift one knee, and then the other, if you want to take this into a shoulder stand. I reach through the balls of my feet. I like to spread my toes. My legs are engaged. And the gaze, I'm going to bring my gaze more towards my knees or a little lower. So that the brain stem can relax back. I'm letting the brain stem rest back, even as I lift my heart. And then we'll bend the knees. You can do it one at a time. Take the strap off. Lift the hips. There goes one block if I had two. Then I'm going to lift the back of my head and walk myself towards the above the blanket so I can rest my pelvis on my blanket, keep my feet on the ground. And notice again the ground. Notice how my body and the ground touch each other. And then let's roll over to one side. Use the arms to push yourself up. Great. And let's take, we're going to take Matsyendrasana 2. So I'm going to take a blanket to sit on. And I'll want my strap. Oh yeah. So with the strap, I'm going to make take my loop of my strap and I'm going to make it a little smaller. I don't know if you can see it, but it's going to go around my right leg. So right leg straight. Left foot to the inner right knee, not to the inner right thigh. The inner right knee. If you sit in lotus pose, you can bring the left foot up into lotus. The tail of the strap is going to go around the left outer hip, and the right arm is going to reach all the way around to grab onto that strap. Left hand reaches forward to grab the strap, or maybe the foot, and here we are. So we're doing a little twist to the right. You're twisting right. And I'm going to make space, also bring my awareness to the right pubic bone, to the inner right hip joint. See if that helps me with my twist. The right pubic bone to the inner right hip. And then we'll exhale, release that. Take the strap off your foot. Let's take the second side. So the strap was on the left leg, right foot to the inner left knee. If I need to, and it looks like I do, I didn't need it on the other side. Too bad I didn't make it that way anyway. But under this knee, I'm going to add just a little height. I'm going to shore up that space. And then the tail of the strap is going to go at the right outer hip. Left arm reaches around, thumb is pointing. When it comes around, thumb points up. I grab onto my strap way over at the right outer hip. Right arm reaches forward, twisting to my left. Connecting to the breath. And what happens when you bring the awareness to your left pubic bone and the space between that and the left inner, that really inside hip, the left inner hip joint. All right, and then we're going to exhale and come back to center. And let's take both legs straight. Get the knees. Great. Take your knees. Yeah. All right. So we're going to go back to our pranayama now. We're going to return to Sitali. I'm going to come closer so you can see me. So I want you to take a comfortable seat. Whatever that is for you. And let me just check in first. So before we do this one, this Sitali, let me open it up to questions about this pranayama. Any questions? So again, we're going to be cooling. This is the cooling breath. So if you're able to roll the tongue, the inhale will be through the rolled tongue. If you didn't get that genetics, then you'll be breathing in. You take the tongue, the underside of the tongue behind the upper two teeth, and bring the air across the back teeth. And that's the other way of doing this practice. With this practice, now let's do a little suspension of the inhale. So when you inhale, whatever that count is, 4, 6, whatever, you're going to suspend the inhale for that same amount of time. Exhale out the nose, that same amount. We won't suspend the exhale, and you'll go back. Okay? So resting the hands. And when you're ready, you can begin. At the bottom of your next exhale, release any control on your breath. You're welcome to either take Shavasana or stay seated for the next few minutes. If you're resting in Shavasana, bring your awareness back to your breathing and begin to deepen the breath. And gently awaken your body to movement. Make a transition to one side. In Shavasana, there you are on your side. At the bottom of your next exhale, bring yourself back up to sitting. Join your hands in front of your heart. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Oh, I've stopped the recording. All right.